Humans have five senses: touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing. These senses are based on receptor cells, or groups of receptor cells called sense organs. Receptors respond to stimuli and send nerve impulses along sensory neurons. The brain interprets the nerve impulse, and thus we perceive the impulse as one of our senses. The skin is the organ which contains the receptors for touch and temperature. The receptors are found in different concentrations at different parts of the body. An example is that there are very few touch sensors at the heel of the foot, but many temperature receptors at the elbow. The outermost layer is called the epidermis, and the dermis is below. The olfactory region is high up in the nasal cavity. It contains about 20 million neurons that detect odors. They are called olfactory neurons. These neurons send impulses when they are stimulated by gases. The responses produced by these stimuli can produce about 10,000 different smells. The receptors stop sending stimuli very quickly. That is why we get used to smells very easily. The sense of taste is a combination of taste as well as smell, texture, and temperature. Cold food tastes different from hot food. If you squeeze your nostril closed when you eat, you will not taste the food as strongly. Also, if you have a cold, your sense of taste is diminished. We continue to taste food after we eat them because bits of the food become lodged on our tongues, and the taste receptors are still sending impulses as a result. Receptors for taste are located on the tongue at the taste buds. The taste buds are at the top and the sides of the tongue. Some taste buds are also found in the lining of the throat. Note that there are 4 different taste receptors: salt, sweet, bitter, and sour. Note that the different types are located at different areas of the tongue. Sight is, of course, the function of the eye. It is very important that you know the parts of the eye and the functions of the parts of the eye. The sclera is the tough outer white layer of the wall of the eye. It, along with internal fluid pressure, keeps the eye shape and protects its delicate internal parts. The cornea is the transparent window of the eye that focuses light on the retina. The iris is the colored ring of muscle fibers located behind the cornea and in front of the lens. The pupil is a hole in the iris, letting light into the back of the eye. The iris muscles control its size. The lens controls the fine adjustment to the focusing of light into the retina. It is an elastic, transparent structure. It changes shape to focus light into the retina. The retina is a light-sensitive layer of rods and cones converting light into nerve impulses. The retina is basically the film of the eye. The optic nerve carries the impulses from the rods and cones to the visual center of the brain. Each optic nerve has about 1.2 million nerve fibers. This is the cable connecting the eye to the brain. The ear is the organ for hearing and balance. In hearing, the ear detects vibrations, their frequency or pitch, and amplitude or loudness. These become nerve impulses carried to the brain. There are 3 sections of the ear: the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. When sound waves enter the ear, they vibrate the eardrum. The eardrum causes the ear ossicles to move or vibrate. These vibrations arrive at the cochlea. Within the cochlea is a liquid called lymph. The lymph is moved within the cochlea. The movement of liquid stimulates sensory receptors in the cochlea. There are about 24,000 sensory cells within our ear. These receptors create an electrical impulse that travels up the auditory nerve and onto our brain.